time.
Oh, are we ever going to be?
Look at
what?
It's starting.
Is it again?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ooh, look at it.
We don't know.
Magic.
We don't know why it's starting.
Maybe it recognizes my kitchen. Maybe it just recognizes us.
I think it does. Are you ready to
It's just
record?
being freaky. Are you? No, we can't do that again.
We're not.
That was last
We're
week.
not.
No.
I know.
Okay. Oh, hey.
What?
Tell them about your shout out this week when you were shopping at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah. So this is cool.
Exciting.
You guys will find this exciting. I hope so.
I did.
Yesterday, I was at the Dollar Tree, and this woman waited on me, and she was like, "Hey, when are you gonna do another video?" And I said, "A video like for Two Tipsy Teachers?" And she's like, "Yes, yeah, you guys are so fun to listen to, and I don't comment or anything." And I was like, "Oh my God, you recognize us from that? Oh, I'm so excited!" So it was very exciting.
It is. It is extremely exciting, and thank you, employee at the Dollar Tree for not
I think
only.
her name is Cindy. I think
Cindy?
it's Cindy. Yes.
Okay, this is a shout out to you for
Yeah.
not only recognizing and commenting,
Yeah.
but actually saying something to Tony when
Yes.
she came through your line. So
Yeah, I
we really,
love
really
it.
appreciate that, because those things
Yeah.
we know folks that we are familiar with who come up to us in various situations and say they're watching or they enjoy it. But when you hear somebody you've never met, you get recognized somewhere
Yeah.
for a video you put out.
Just going through
That
the
tells us
Dollar
people
Tree.
are watching. People are watching, and that's great.
It was so fun. I was
I
like,
know.
"Oh my God, this is really cool." I felt like a rock star.
Didn't they have a commercial about rock stars at the Super Bowl last year? About how you're really a rock star. Don't you remember that one? It was a good one.
I know.
Okay, doesn't matter because I
Okay.
do.
Okay.
I can't remember.
You
everything,
remember everything.
but that's back there.
Okay.
Anywho,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
I thought this month we could dedicate to something near and dear to my heart,
Yeah.
special education.
Yeah.
Why, you ask? Well, I'm glad you did. This month marks the 50th anniversary when President Gerald Ford,
Okay.
those of you who don't know, we had a President Gerald Ford. He came about the presidency in kind of a way that, wasn't voted in. Somebody got impeached.
That's right. Nixon left, and
There
then
you
all of
go.
a sudden, yeah.
It was Gerald.
Yeah.
And he signed in Public Law 94-142, which in a nutshell,
You know that number?
I do. Well, we had to, when I was going to college, that was a big part of our special ed training was understanding the law when it was written, blah, blah, blah. And for whatever reason, PL 94-1, Public Law 94-142 has stuck in my brain along with Part C.
Okay.
So originally it started out as the Education for All Handicapped Students Act. And later on, they revised it to the IDEA,
right.
Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, but doing the same important work. So those of you keeping track or maybe doing the math quickly in your head, that was just 50 years ago.
That's amazing.
50 years ago. That's it, friends. 50 years.
So isn't it crazy that before that, I mean, did we have special ed?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
It was more of a privilege versus a right. So
Oh.
those who could maybe afford to get some extra support for their student outside of the public schools, or maybe students who didn't have significant needs that weren't necessarily identified, but could maybe make their way through what is considered a typical school day or a typical public education experience. But unfortunately, many of those friends who were identified, or it was clear that they had a developmental disability, they were sent away.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say.
They certainly weren't embraced by the public school systems.
Right.
Public school systems were not required to provide an education for students with disabilities.
Right.
So after that, it became a mandate that they had access, the same access to the same free and appropriate public education that every other student has. So it was super important. We're still learning.
Yeah.
Still making a few mistakes, still growing, still doing some really, really good things, and still learning how to do better things.
So I'm going to pop this in because I was looking at this today, ironically. They're talking about with the dismantling of public education. I know this is a hard conversation. That the whole idea from the secretary or whatever we're calling her, or McMahon or whatever, that
wrestling gal,
that she knows nothing about education, much less special education. That their goal is to make it all a state thing, not a federal thing. right? Did you hear this?
It is. Well,
It-
just dismantling it in general
Yes.
will take away the protections. And
Right.
not just to our students who are identified with special education needs, but our marginalized students.
Right.
It impacts
The civil rights
it
of
impacts-
students, right.
Absolutely.
Right.
It
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing it said, of course, the concern is that if you take away that federal mandate
Mhm.
and it goes to the states, A, don't have the budget for it,
No,
and B, can choose not to.
exactly.
And they could, like, people are afraid that it will go back to like back in the day with
Well,
the
there'll be nobody
institutions.
overseeing it.
Right.
There will be nobody ensuring
Mhm.
that every
Mhm.
single district across the country, not
Mhm.
just in Wisconsin,
Mhm.
are following
Right.
the same guidelines
Right.
and mandates that are expected
Mhm.
from Public Law 94-142.
Yeah.
And that will happen. It will happen, not in every state,
Yeah, right.
but
It depends on the state, but still, it depends
Yeah.
how much money your state has and where they want to allocate
Or
all of
if
that money.
they want to allocate
that
that money. It is just another way to make accessing public education for everyone difficult.
Yeah,
It's scary as all get out.
I know.
It really, really is, because we're moving backwards. And
Yeah,
like you
it's
said initially, this has only been 50 years.
I was just going to say,
50
it's
years.
a 50
That's
year,
it.
50-year anniversary
Yes.
of it. And we could be backpedaling
We
that.
are backpedaling that.
Yeah. So,
Removing protections. That's what it is all about. Because there is so much more involved than just saying, oh, this student qualifies for special education, so we're going to provide it. Well, what does that mean? And how
Mhm.
do they qualify?
Mhm.
Even within my experience as a special ed teacher within our own state, and this isn't saying that anybody's doing anything wrong per se,
Mhm.
but I often would find myself surprised sometimes when we'd adopt an out-of-state IEP or even a out-of-district IEP,
Mhm.
around some of the things that were written in the IEP, or some of the supports that were not provided in the IEP, or maybe how some things came about based on some conversations I had with parents. I'm thinking we're all following that same mandate.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure why there's such a difference. So knowing,
That's
because it is
happening.
complicated. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I don't want to place blame. It is complicated. And take it from somebody who did it forever.
Right.
And I felt pretty well versed in my IEP meetings, and I
I
felt pretty
agree.
well versed about the law
Mhm.
and how to approach everything
Mhm.
with an IEP. One thing that challenged that is there's constantly change, and some of the
Mhm.
change is good, some of the change not so good.
Mhm.
So that did make it difficult at times, and the budget absolutely impacted that. Do you hear that music? That's my phone that I forgot to turn off. Hold on. Here we go. Who is it? It's my sister. I'll call you later.
Stephanie.
There we go. Call her later. I think she's on her way up. Anywho. Oh, budget. Budget is still
Mhm.
an issue.
Yeah.
Even with it mandated, nothing changed yet.
Mhm.
You are constantly advocating for what the students need against what can we afford, which I'm not saying we are doing that as black and white as it sounds, because you
Right.
have to provide what the student needs, whether you can afford it or not.
Right.
But there is that piece there.
Yeah.
There is. Yeah. So
Such a topic.
it is. And it's hugely important
Mhm.
because I think there's been a lot of disinformation out there about
Mhm.
what our Department of Public Education is responsible for.
Mhm.
And I think, unfortunately, some of us get comfortable in what they think is happening.
Mhm.
And if things are going pretty well, why is this an issue? Why do we need somebody overseeing it?
Mhm.
Because of what happened prior to that, people.
Mhm.
That's why.
Mhm.
And because not every state is going to have the leadership necessary to ensure everyone has access to that free and appropriate public
Mhm.
education.
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
Yeah.
The states that don't have they don't want to emphasize or think about education, they'll poo-poo it, and the ones that are strong public education advocates will maintain it, try to make it better.
The whole voucher piece hugely impacts that as well.
Well,
and
and that could be another whole
it
thing.
will. It will be. Yeah.
That's a whole topic.
Because we're getting to 10 already. Well, get it done already. I'm going to blame it on my sister. It's your fault for calling. No, it really isn't. But I will call you back.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to say about
Right.
this topic. And I hope you tune in. Not only will we be probably focusing on this a little more in our video podcast, but in our blogs, which we are getting back on top of. We got a little pause there because, life gets busy.
Yeah.
Life gets busy and it's who we are. And we're not going to push something out just to push something out.
Right.
If we push something out, we want it to be meaningful and we want it to be helpful and something that we hope you enjoy. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
We shall return.
Right. So we're signing off. Our two tipsy
Tipsy teachers. Take care.
Loving ya.